Welcome back to the channel, RevKev RC. Appreciate everybody stopping by as usual. If you're new here, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, extra glad to have you too. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would certainly love to have you. We are chugging away at the channel growth that I'm trying to achieve. And yeah, enough about that. Enough about me. Let's talk about RCs. In the last video on the FMS Ridge Racer, geez, it's in my head. The FMS Bronco R RTR livery, paint scheme, decal, whatever, color. We talked about the post-run impressions and modifications. As a little recap, before we did the run, I did the mud flap modifications with the aluminum brace / backer right there. And I had made an attempt to make the clear cover that they put inside of here they give you to put down, and made an attempt to make that work. It did not work. And what else? I talked about the tape. Tape did really well. Keeping the body in one piece. I had no breakages of the body or anything else for that matter. In another video, I believe it was on the rock slide, I talked about putting, oh, there's pins back here too. The rock slide doesn't have pins right there. And we're going to talk about why that's funny. Not in this video, real soon. I talked about the tires wearing through the tape right there. As another YouTuber, I think he's a YouTuber, I talk to a lot of people so I get it confused, said this tape will not protect that for very long, and he's right. There were wear marks in there. Now what you see is there's some Gorilla Tape here on all four corners. There you go. There's Gorilla Tape in there. Now the tape isn't actually doing anything. This was here temporarily to hold this stuff on, which is semi-clear. It's like a translucent thin cutting board. I've talked about it in other videos and showed it on screen. I'll put a link in it. I got it on Amazon. This stuff is easy to cut. It's very cheap, and it is abrasion resistant. So under the tape was only here to hold it in place while the E6000, which is a common hobby grade glue, to me it's exactly like shoe glue, but in an easier application method. Shoe glue comes out of a larger hole. This has like a nozzle. Use whatever you want. This seems like it's going to work just fine. But if you can find shoe glue, it's in any place that sells. Well, Walmart. Walmart always has shoe glue. It's over by the shoes. It's for repairing shoes. If you hadn't caught on to that. Anyway, you can use shoe glue. I used E6000 this time just to give it a try. And this feels like it's not ever coming off. The tape was only there to hold it in place while the shoe glue was curing. I do not have any reason to pull the tape off. It's going to get worn through and all that anyway. So I probably just won't. Although I pulled on that corner. Yeah, it's still pretty stuck on there. You rip that off and cut it, since I've already opened up that corner. Yeah, so that is what I did. I went ahead and cut rectangles, E6000 them on there. They're not actually on the truck, they're on the tape. But all this tape is really secure. So I guess if I really wanted to, I could just pull this base layer of metal reinforced tape off, and then all this would come off, but I'm not going to do that. The thing I really wanted to show you is that I was having a hard time coming up with a way to make that clear cover fit, because when I put my 6S battery, that I have a bunch of these in there, when I put that in there, it's too tall for this cover to go on. So let me change this orientation. So I had to come up with a way to make, number one, this still do mostly what we want it to do. And I think this is going to work. I haven't tested it yet, but what you see here is 3M command strips. These are like, they're not the soft Velcro, they're the hard kind that pops on and off, almost like a snap. So that's how this is on here, and it is fairly secure. Now, I've done this little doodad. It's just zip tied through. Little hole right here. Run the zip tie up, and then take another zip tie it down, and then cut off the excess. So it's 2 zip ties that do this little like cinching, pinching thing right here. And if I want to make it tighter, I can just do like that. Make the zip tie tighter like I've just done, because this closed cell foam, you know, it compresses a little bit the longer you keep it pressed down, but it'll reach its limit and stop doing that. The reason it's here is to, one, well, I guess solely, this indexes it where I want it on the truck. And then when I close the body down, I selected these pieces so that when I close the body down, when I close the body down, this right here actually slightly compresses this down. So this should not move. This should not move. This should stay put. And whenever I get me some more of the command strips, I'll do the same thing to the Ridge Racer, since everything that's here is identical on the Ridge Racer. Then I can just take this component and move it from one to the next. And the body on this truck, the interior, is the same as the Ridge Racer, so I should get that same meeting point right here with the compression. I also think that that's the same and that's the same, so it should work just fine. If it doesn't, we'll talk about it. But that is how I am going to approach it. And I really do think, since my battery sits right here and it sits up pretty tall, I don't need to worry so much about stuff getting in right here like it was before. And I would show it to you, but you'll just take my word for it. The center diff casing is aluminum. And same thing on the Ridge Racer. And I already looked at this thing, and it's already gotten rocks and pebbles and stuff in there, so it got chewed up, and it's already been marred, and it's ugly now from debris getting in there. So that is something that's kind of annoying. But when I ran this for the first time out at Area 51, this didn't stay in place. So I don't know if this thing is wholly ineffective and there's just no way to keep stuff out of there, even with all of it still there, and maybe running a shorter battery. But if you want to run this on 6S, I don't know if you're going to get anything smaller than that. You're not going to get 2 3S's to stack in there shorter than this is, I don't think, unless you use much smaller packs, like miniature packs, which I don't have any out right now to show you to make fun of them. But I don't think you can do it. So, but I know that when I put this battery in here, it fits perfectly front to back, left and right, and it covers up the ingress areas on this side for debris that could get in there. So maybe it'll work. Maybe it will be all right. And that's kind of it. This is going to be kind of a short video. Nothing too crazy. Everything held up great. The tire rubbing through the body situation, that is 1,000% not even a concern on my radar anymore, given that I've used my tried and true method with the cutting board. You can see here, like I talked about in the other video, I did drill holes for some airflow. keeps the big stuff out. So hopefully this will do the trick. I never had any real hopes that the command strips alone would do this. So this right here, this physical press down, and you can tell when you put the body down, you have to push it a little bit harder because now the interior panel is it's compressing this a little bit, which if you have compression down and you have some fairly stout index points frontwards and backwards with that downward pressure, I don't think this is going to move. You know, maybe if you crash it super hard, but I don't know. I kind of don't think so. I really don't. I think it's going to be all right. But we'll see. We're definitely not done playing with this thing. This thing has finally got its very first real run. It did epic and amazing. No breakages, no body punctures, no tears, no nothing. It just works. Oh, let me pull the phone out of the charger or my stand here and show you something. It's difficult to show with mount. The taillights, if you watched the previous video, the taillights had a lot of dirt in them. I tried to tape them off previously and it didn't work. But if you look down in there, what I've done is I took the taillight out. This is 2 Phillips screws. Take the taillight out, put a strip of tape underneath where the wire comes out, and then reassemble the taillight. That will actually seal the dirt out in there because it creates like a sandwiching effect of the two surfaces as you assemble the light back together inside the housing. So see that one, it's actually running completely all the way through, which is totally fine. The tape being sticky and semi squishable, it will compress into something of a seal. Get my phone back in the mount. I have to edit this part out. Jeez. There we go. Golly. So the tape will give you a seal to keep the dirt out of the taillights. The design, they're actually really robust, but the design in keeping little dirt and other things out of there, not exceptionally well executed. From a light replacement perspective, it's actually very easy. Each one is individually plugged, so you can unplug it from, they're in a series, so the left, if the left one goes out, the right one will quit working because they're plugged into each other. So something to note. But you can unplug them individually, and then from the harness, there's a plug right there where my finger's hovering that the left one connects to, and then it goes over, and there's a plug in the middle there where the right one connects to. So from a replacement standpoint, it's pretty good. From a perspective of keeping the dust and the dirt out, it's up to you. Just do what I did. Pull the light apart. It's 2 Phillips screws. Place down some tape, and then put the lights back together inside the body, and that will keep all the dirt out. And make sure you prep it with alcohol so your tape sticks like it should. If you get it brand new and do this, it'll already be pretty clean, but if you've already ran the truck, make sure you clean all the dirt out and stuff of it and stuff from it. But that is the current state in the of the Ridge Racer. There, I did it again. Apparently I want to play with that thing because I keep talking about it. I'm gonna have to have that one out with this one at probably not Danger Rapids, that's for crawling, Area 51, to do a comparison video of how they handle and drive out there. And I'm sure I'm just going to love it. It's just going to be a reason for me to make a video and play with RC cars. And isn't that kind of the point? But anyway, fairly short video. This truck is awesome. And I'm super glad I bought it. I have a feeling they're going to put it on sale at some point in the very near future, you know, because Christmas. Don't count on it. I just think that they will, because as long as it's been out, they probably want people to buy it. And you should. I keep talking about the Traxxas UDR, the unlimited desert racer. Yeah, it's limited. It's limited in how durable it is. Yeah, you can go get parts for it because it's Traxxas, so they exist, but you're gonna need them. Everybody on the planet makes UDR parts because there's a high demand. I built my UDR to be as indestructible as I could, and then just got tired of fixing it because the body would rip all the time. And sold it to a buddy who really likes them. He's got a race course in his backyard that you know, is probably a little bit more suited for something that doesn't go full on speed and jumps all the time, like this truck kind of is. So that's my take. That's the state of this thing so far. And yeah, that this fix here and the fix back here was pretty easy. Got to pull this apart, clean all the dirt out if you have already ran it and got dirt in there. Put the tape in here from left to right, and you'll be all right. You'll be good to go. Such a cool truck. Look how soft that is. They did such a good job with this thing. I really do like it. That's it. Stop rambling. If you have actually watched the video to the end here, I thank you so very much. Go out and get one of these. Go get you something to play with. I want to hear about it. Drop something down in the comments if you have one of these. If you love it, if you think that these tips and tricks are helping you or helping other people, let me know. I would love to hear that too. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it makes me feel good inside my tingly man heart. And I'll see you in the next one real soon. Peace.